One of the earliest shorts on this channel that isn't university related was my Thanks Spider-Man from my review of the Spider-Man game. I then played and followed up with a review of Miles Morales, and now I finally come to Spider-Man 2. It's taken me a while, but I don't really want to go into massive detail. This is going to be a nice, quick, easy review by my standards because I'm off the back of Black Mirror for one. But I have a few things that I really want to talk about my enjoyment of this game, because I really did enjoy this game. Whilst technically there are some issues on PC, it is clearly PlayStation first, which is what it was meant to be, and then I suppose we'll port it out. Like, there are issues with it. Some of the graphical stuff just decides to bug out, and even on like the best settings for my equipment, it didn't feel like it was actually delivering the best visuals that those settings should, if that makes sense. But, I persevered because the gameplay was enough. I think in the first one I mentioned it, and possibly in Miles Morales, but I do struggle with side quest hell, as they call it, where I just want to do all the side stuff and then I get bored because I haven't got any plot. With how all the side stuff's been done here, I didn't feel that much. In fact, I was like, where's the side stuff gone? Oh, I can't do stuff until I've unlocked more of the story. I felt more upset about being railroaded back into the story so I could unlock more FNSM requests and various other activities around the city. I do like the fact that the crimes are now separate. They're almost like a Radiant Quest thing, so you can just keep being Spider-Man after the credits roll as much as you want. I do like the fact that that wasn't tied into district progress. It did perhaps mean that I was playing less like Spider-Man for a lot of it. I wasn't just going, oh, there's a crime I've got to solve. But once you get to a certain point in the story, when the stakes are so high, running off to stop a tanker from exploding almost kind of seems not pointless, because the risk, to life and limb, etc., if you take it as a real thing, is still there. But it just didn't feel quite as important as stopping this symbiote situation. So overall, I did enjoy this. Like I say, I think what they learned from what had come before was really, really well handled. But one of the main reasons I wanted to talk about this... Well, actually, no. I'll talk about the other one first. I didn't like the MJ bits again. They really annoy me, those forced stealth bits. But one of the things I really enjoyed was that little mission from Hailey. Because obviously we've gotten to know her over time, and I love how they handle the sign language. I think I said in the Miles Morales one particularly, they have an option on the menus if you want the sign language narrated. They understand that we've got someone with sign language, they're deaf, and people might use subtitles for those kind of things otherwise. But there are people who may have cognitive issues trying to read subtitles and enjoy the game. So having the narration for the sign is accessibility on top of accessibility, and I think that is really, or should be, the goal of the industry at large. But the mission that you play as I literally sat there for a moment and went, hold on, where's the sound? Oh, of course, where's the sound? This is Hailey's world. And we realise that she's not 100% absolutely cannot hear anything deaf, it's just very, very low muffle. You can't discern anything meaningful out of it, but there is a vague sense of sound from somewhere. Which, would possibly be, worse than complete deafness, I don't know, it's obviously I've never experienced. But I like the fact that it really put you in her shoes. Everything was like, what can I see around me? Not so much what can I hear around me. It really got you to play a very different way. I would have preferred more of those rather than the MJ bits, let's put it that way. It was that beautiful. And the whole connection she made with the other graffiti artist. But the thing I wanted to end on, and this is where I've kind of shot myself in the foot because I've recorded these out of order, is the Tony Todd situation. It's an actor I've respected for pretty much all of my life, as long as I've known about him. The fact that the Candyman films are a feature on this channel literally is because of how compelling Tony Todd is as a performer in those. But when I realised he was Venom, I literally sat for a moment that I just had to digest that. I had to sit with it and go, okay. It was the last game that he voiced that was released while he was still alive. Indiana Jones, I believe, he's in that, and that came out afterwards. But this was the last one, and sadly, if we do get a Spider-Man 3, the setting up of Cindy Moon, etc. at the end as Silk, so we probably are, but there was going to be a Venom thing that sort of spun off of that or that came before, but it's not going to have Tony Todd. And I don't think it's one of those voices that people can do a brilliantly convincing impression. There are certain voices that are just very hard to replicate, and that's one of them to me. But I think this was a good send-off. I got to enjoy spending a little time hearing him again in a different way, and I'll be thankful for that. As part of this enjoyable experience of the Venom game not the Venom game, the Spider-Man 2 game overall, I'm here for it. So those are my thoughts on Spider-Man 2. I don't think I'm going to have a fun little short from this one, really. It's been a little more... Generally, it's been fun and the little modelling bit, but yeah, if you haven't played it, definitely give it a go. I haven't spoiled too much, I hope. I mean, the little end credits reveal, but I hope you'll join me for whatever's coming down the line, and until then, as always, thank you for watching, and take care.